Hello, good day, everyone. It's 4:30, just gone 4:30 p.m. In UK time. So what's the time in US? In the morning, and Asia going to bed time. So I'll try to stream more in the future, at least in November until early December. And I do like live stream, and I just haven't had enough time in the past few weeks, busy with work, but also working on my NFT project. Some of you might know. It might not be noticed because the market has been so crazy and everybody's busy with their stuff and probably overstretched with all the projects that they're following. So I don't blame anyone for not being able to follow anything, because even myself on my Discord channel, I've got like hundreds of messages that just I couldn't catch up. So it just shows how crazy the market is and how enthusiastic people are. So today I'm gonna briefly talk about what's been happening really with me, and my strategy and the investment I have done. Moved a little bit around in the crypto space to gain a bit more yield and a bit more guaranteed reward, and the stuff that I look forward to, the trend that's going to happen in the next few months that I believe in, and also touch base on my NFT project. Hopefully, I will be releasing tonight if I can figure everything out on OpenSea. So, thanks for tuning in, and welcome. So, I think the last video I did was when I got to Sosbai and met two of my ape friends looking at the Bored Ape Yacht Club being sold at auctions. It has been sold at auctions one after another in the past 2 months, really. So it's not a surprise anymore to many people. And there was somebody buying 30 mutants, so mutant apes, in one transaction, apparently, or in one go, however you call it, the other night, 2 days ago. So that raised the floor price a little bit as well, even with Ethereum going up so much. We all know that mutant apes are so undervalued compared to the OG ape. Not that because I'm one of the member, I say it. It's because it is a membership, and if you don't know what a membership means to you, then you need to rethink about your entry to the NFT space. Because I got, after I joined in the Bored Ape Yacht Club, I changed my PFP on all my social media. So it's Twitter, it's Discord, that's YouTube, it's my WeChat, it's LinkedIn. All my social media profiles being changed to Bored Ape and wearing, suits and whatever. And there are obviously people who are interested to know more that got to me and ask, oh, when did you go in? How much did you pay? And what should I buy? And can I still buy? And blah, blah. So I say, yeah, of course, depending on how much you want to spend, because some of my crypto friends are actually doing quite well, because I know they have gone into the market quite early, back in 2017, if not earlier. And they probably do have some stuff with them, but they're not obviously sure how this is going to work out, because they don't know about NFT and they don't know about Bored Apes or CryptoPunks. They know the price has gone up, but they don't know why. They've not done their study, and that's why they're not so easy to be convinced, if you know what I mean. I'm pretty sure if you are in the NFT space, you would probably already tried to convince your friend or colleague or boss or people around you. And even with physical contacts and physical persuasion, it not always works out the way that you think it should be, right? Until they really get it. But how do you make somebody get it? I don't know. I'm trying. And I think of myself as quite persuasive personality. It's a shame that I haven't really worked as a salesperson, but I guess in a way, your sales and communication skill goes a long way, whatever you do in your job. But people need to make up their own mind. You can't really feed them and force them to eat something if they don't want to chew or swallow. And that's the thing I came across with a few people coming to me, asking me about all these things. And you know what? If you want to come to NFT space for a long run, not flipping, not gambling, then look at Mutant Apes. That's the best entry. Ask the membership. And what's the membership? What does that do? Go on Discord and search, read the roadmap of 2.0 yourself, if you don't get it, then maybe it's the wrong place for you to come in. That's all I can say. Or maybe we're just too ahead of things, that we're jumping too quickly for those beginners. I don't know. You guys can tell me if you have a similar experience of persuading other people buying something, or if you're a conservative investor, then maybe it's safer for you to just stack a coin with BTC or Ethereum or something in a DeFi with a passive income. That might be easier. Saying that, I have had an investment in World of Woman, and I did sell it, luckily, 3 days ago. Not that lucky in a way. The project, I believe, is still going quite well, but I just needed a bit of liquidity to do something else that I have been longing for quite a while. So I listed my World of Woman, and it got sold. And then I moved the funds to this project that I was looking at for quite a few weeks, and I kind of just got in on time. So it is Uluvian, and probably if you are playing games, you probably would already be in this project, probably way earlier than me, because I think it's been out for at least a few months, if not longer. In a way, if allow people to buy the token and staking the token and learn about the game. The game is not out yet. The game is out, I think, early next year, but the trailer, the play trailer, is out, I think, today or tomorrow. And there's beta test in the next few weeks coming out, and it's such a big capital, big company backed game, over 100 staff and AAA, and I think they used the methodology of combining, to my knowledge, Pokemon Go. So you go out and catch, creatures in place called Uluvian, and you then fight the game. To me, it's a bit like if you have played World of Warcraft. It's a bit like the little pets fighting each other, but it's automatic. And combination of a bit of RPG as well, role play, because you will create your own avatar and go around and collect resources and build stuff and capture monsters, and monster get upgraded and fight each other, and probably worth some of the token or ETH, whatever currency it is. And despite all that, the other thing I really like about it is the tokenomics. If you're from DeFi, you probably would already heard about Curve, right? Curve and Convex is one of the projects I was really recommending back in May, June. I probably would have mentioned it in quite one of my early video in July. You're welcome to go back to have a look or do some further research about Curve, because Curve tokenomics is really fantastic as well. It's got an inward circulation, and I think almost 90% of the Curve token is being staked. So does that apply to Uluvian? At the moment, before the game is released, everybody who's purchased the ILV token would be staking either in the ILV pool or in the ILV-ETH pool on SushiSwap, and getting really amazing yield. Apparently, the yield was something like 700, 1,000% at the beginning. And as we all know, with the DeFi methodology, it gradually goes down due to various reasons. And now I think it's sitting around 400%. 400%. I mean, it's amazing, and it's different from a degen, DeFi. It's not some protocol that people build and then gonna go hard rock pool. It's it's a solid game, and with all the big capital and massive team behind, and such a vibrant, large community behind as well. If you haven't noticed in the Discord channel, so why do I say so much about this game or my investment? Is because being active in the crypto space, you look around, you probably it's very easy to get soaked into a particular thing, and you just feel like, oh, I'm so bullish on this particular project. I wanna put all my money in, because no matter how big your portfolio grows, my portfolio has grown 30 times since the beginning of last year, and I always feel like I need more money to do this or do that. especially with the market going up, you're never going to have enough money to do everything you want or buy everything you want. So I think it's something I remind myself as well. Of course, I don't I don't follow it strictly, and that's why partly to do YouTube is to self-reflect, and reminding myself to be disciplined on how I balance my portfolio as well in terms of how much money I put in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, in DeFi, in NFTs, and GameFi in the future. I mean, now, not really the future. It's part of the game now. And probably because I started to play the game when I was a little when I was a little girl. I kind of grew up with games. So when CryptoPunks came out, I get it. I get a 24 by 24 pixel because I had that before. I get role play RPG game because it's one of the type of game I really like. The only thing I probably is less favorite is probably the first sight shooting game because I get a bit dizzy with 3D, I have to say. But if it's a third party angle, then I'm better, like WoW, for example. And I watched so many of my friends playing Pokemon Go and a Chinese or Japanese game called Yin Yang Shi, which is the card game. WoW has another derivative game as well, playing cards, right? So those kind of game. So I get why it is a metaverse on its own, in a game, especially in a long-standing game like World of Warcraft. I played on the European server, on the US server. I played on the Chinese server, Asia server. I also played Diablo. I played Diablo 1, believe it or not, if I could read, barely read, with my cousins. I played Diablo 2, played Diablo 3, and I've been on all different servers. I really get it. I really get why GameFi is going to be a next trend, because we had blockchain, Bitcoin, we had Ethereum, we had all these public chains developing their ecosystem. We have DeFi last year, we have NFTs, but NFT projects are working so hard to develop their directions, to develop what they want to do, they're looking at how this whole thing is going to work out. And then it's funny that all of a sudden Facebook announced, oh, we're going to change our name to Meta. Like, really? It's like, really? You're so late. It's like the logo. Yeah, it's a fantastic logo. Obviously, it's well designed. You can, from a branding and marketing perspective, it is very easy to remember. It simples so many different meanings. It's blue with a bit of a shading, etc. But look, there's so many other companies has a similar logo. I just like, can't you just come up with something a bit more interesting? It's just so like boring. Anyway, like Facebook's news is everywhere on Twitter and on other news in the past 48 hours. I think people are just gonna forget it because there are other things coming up, and people are just gonna sit and wait and see what Facebook's gonna come out. And all the other companies are so ahead of the game. I think that's why Facebook is like, sort of, we're gonna change the name because we have to make a announcement to show our attitude, to show where we're going, to show where our money and everything else is going to the whole world, because it's fan base, it's users of its social media and all the other stuff that they do, that they just feel like they needed evaluation. And I guess you don't evolve until you reach a crisis point, and I guess they were probably reaching some sort of crisis point, or many times of crisis point, that they decided to do it. So it's interesting. It's really, really interesting. Don't we all evolve? Um, so just kind of summary why I was shifting funds around. I'm still largely occupied in the NFT space, and I have no intention to sell, in particular, my apes, because the apes founders are developing their games, all the treasure hunt or real life clubs and all the social thing that's happening this weekend. The GameFi is definitely going to be the next trend. So last year, DeFi, this year, NFT next year is going to be GameFi, okay? And Meta, if you want to call it metaverse or whatever. But I think GameFi, game finance, just definitely, it's so much fun. It's like investment, but also entertainment, you know, and a lot more. I do think it's a lot more. So I believe in this, and that's why I'm so bullish about it. So that's that. And what else is happening? So the board apes are gathering together today, tomorrow. I'm so jealous in New York City for the board ape, I don't know, gathering, whatever you call it. And then in New York City, I think from the 1st of November for a few days, there's going to be the NFT New York City conference. So it's mega. And then next weekend, I think people in London or people in the UK can't resist anymore. So there's a smaller, probably much smaller version of NFT conference in London, which I managed to book tickets yesterday. The tickets were sold like in 1 minute. It was like really funny. I bought one for the weekend, so I would be able to go on both Saturday and Sunday. And I also bought 2 more tickets for Sunday, just in case my colleagues and other crypto friends wants to come. So I'm probably going to go both days and meeting people. So it's a great time and great moment for everybody to be in the place. And I just urge those people who are already in the crypto space to look harder, don't miss the opportunity, because it's not going to be there forever. And for those who are outside the space, get in. What are you doing with your saving? Just try something. And not financial advice. I think it's just something people should do in life, and sort of get a bit more self-motivation, and learn something new, learn a new industry, and look at what's going on. You don't have to spend money on it, but don't refuse the most trendy thing that is actually happening now. And in particular, if you have close friends or family members that are actually working on this, definitely get to know it. So last thing I want to say today is I'm going to release my NFT tonight. Hopefully, if I work out how to operate everything on OpenSea. If you don't know what's it about, I did a video a few weeks ago, and the name of my NFT project is going to called Are You From Japan? And I know I'm not. I'm just not going to repeat the whole story, but it's literally is around personal identity and cultural fusion. And it's an area that I'm really passionate about. And there's a lot of stories and cultural research, and quite rich cultural research in it, in my project. So I find it's really interesting, and it's going to be a long-term project that I will be doing. So it's not 10,000 PFP one release and that's the end. It's going to be a long time involving scheme that will involve the stuff that I'm into. So if you are interested in culture and Oriental and fusion, and you're curious, then definitely have a look and see if there's anything you like to pick up. So I will be releasing 6 images with secret content on OpenSea from today onwards for the next I'd say next 2 weeks. So I will do that. So that will be the season 1. And then I'm actually going to be working with my business partner and also another artist together on season 2. So it's definitely going to be an ongoing thing. And if you have been following me for a while or checked my profile linking or pages, you probably would know I have a film degree. I also have a photography degree a long time ago. And I also had a physical presence in the gallery in the past, organized exhibitions, sold prints and sold photography books. So I feel like NFT has given me a second life. Like I'm feeling so alive because this whole thing is offering people like me who has gone off from what they studied originally to work in somewhere else in the other industry. Like I worked in education and real estate development, and accumulate, whatever, the salary you get and whatever investment you do. But sort of kept them away from what might be the original suitable path for them. And I just feel all the stuff that I have done in the past are all like coming together. And whatever I've done in the past, like I did like an IT job in a high school for for 2 years, and and I was like, I didn't study IT. I was working as an IT technician. I was like, what the hell? What am I doing? Because I needed a job when I graduated in this country, and you know how difficult it is. You know, even within your own country, if you move city, you know, it's always tricky to actually develop a career when you first graduated. But later on, you discovered in your career journey that actually what you did in the past, if you really worked hard on it, you really put your effort into it, you really grasped the core value of it, it will play out. And I think partly now why I'm so into this whole blockchain crypto thing, you know, I have to thank for the previous job I did. Like I bloody worked in IT department for 2 years. I mean that helped, right? um, so I mean, there are a lot of things, and you guys probably know I like tell stories and I talk too much. But so yeah, so in my NFT project, I'm gonna tell a lot of funny stories as as a secret content, and I hope that people who liked it and who bought it would enjoy the surprise, and I will be planning something long term as well for this. So definitely look forward to building up a little community. And I hope everybody is doing very well this weekend and next week. It's just such a brilliant moment, and I hope you all enjoying and get hyper and just don't get too drunk. And I will see you next time. So bye for now.